another one.
What are the pros and cons of unit tests? What percentage of components should have unit tests? All right. So it says we're trying to decide how much emphasis to place on creating unit tests. Okay. What are the pros and cons of unit tests? Are you serious? Wait, what? What? This is a serious question here? What percentage of components should have unit tests? Any insight would be greatly appreciated. All right. So I'm going to start off with saying this. What percentage of components should have unit tests? I'm going to start off with a default of 100%. And then from that 100%, whatever can be unit tested, then it starts to go down to like 99.9%, 99.8%, and so forth, right? It is possible that you might not get every single instance, but your goal should be 100%. We should aim, like our goal, like, and I know, we should get 80% of this tested and 80% of that tested. Well, here's the question, right? Do you want 20% of your application to not work? So that's why for me, I'm like, our bar should be set at 100, and then we should always aim for 100, and then we settle with as close as we can get to it. It's like saying, what should your free throw percentage be? Well, I want it to be 100%. It might not be 100%, but I want it to be 100%. What's the percentage of patients do you want to have like a good review from? I mean, I would want it to be 100%. It might not, and most likely it won't be, but I'm going to aim for 100, right? I'm going to aim for perfection and then settle with being like 0.1% below that, you know? So that's how I start with this question. So what are the pros and cons of unit tests? Well, the pros are that the pros of a unit test is that you get to test the smallest unit of code of development very fast, very quickly, very early, over and over and over again. And if you are doing the right thing and you're doing test-driven development, it is going to help you write better code. Another pro of unit tests is that when it's implemented into your CI/CD pipeline, if you have, it's a regression test that if you have like 100 unit tests that were all passing, and then you introduce some new code and then you run it, and then now this code that was like this test that were passing from the very beginning, they're failing now, then Houston, we have a problem. But if you don't have unit tests, how will you ever know until it goes into like QA and API tests? The further away the defect gets from the code, the more expensive it is. And guess what? If your code gets too expensive, the business looks how to reduce that cost. And then they might, you know what, maybe we should find somebody who writes unit tests to keep the cost down. So now the cons of unit tests. The cons is developers don't like writing unit tests. Why do we have to write tests? Well, because you want your application to work. So to me personally, I don't really see cons of writing unit tests. Now, might be some things that you might not be able to test very, very rarely. You should always start off with the mindset of, I can test this. And then the code or the development has to prove me wrong. All right. So how much emphasis should you place on creating unit tests? It should be of the utmost priority. Some software engineers who's been doing it for a very long time, they'll come from the mindset of, you should not write any code until you have your first failing test. And then you write code to make your test pass. I like that mindset, and I try. You know, I'm still getting better at software development. My QA developments, my QA testing, my QA development, my QA automation, those are pretty much on point. I can figure out any automation, but I'm still getting better. I'm still getting better at the software development part, right? And unit tests are important. Like it's the utmost. It's the most important thing. That, we're gonna have to share the screen. We're gonna have to share the screen real quick. All right. So let me see. Where is my browser? We're gonna do this. So we're going to look at the software testing pyramid. And we're going to let's go to this one. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick, right? All right, software testing pyramid. So at the bottom of the pyramid, the foundation of the pyramid is unit tests, right? They should run quickly. And you should have the most of those. And then we go into our integration test, which is like our API test and stuff like that. And then the least that we have is our end-to-end test, which is our UI, Playwright, Selenium, Cypress type test, robot framework type test. Integration is where we're connecting to our database or our APIs. Unit tests is where we have the most tests. And that is the foundation. If the unit tests don't pass, we shouldn't even get to running our integration or end-to-end test. The unit test must pass before we can even build the project. We can even try to deploy the project, all right? So that is the level of emphasis that we should be placed on unit tests. It should be of the utmost priority, all right? Hopefully that helps and gives some clear insight on how important unit tests should be to every single developer. I've heard people say that, you know what, people have said, we're trying to get this live to the public so we don't have any testing. They've said it. We cannot have that mindset. Unit test or nothing, all right? We have to change that mindset, all right? With that being said, I'm gonna wrap that one up.
For hands to pull me up, I fill my own glass, I drink my own cup. Failures fuel the fire that sets me free. Every spark, every flame burns brighter in me.
I called the shots, but they ran away. Promises made, but none would stay. So I turned the mirror and what did I see? The only one I trust is me.
Turned gray, hope shattered like glass, dreams led astray. But I picked up the pieces, carved my own way. Now it's my voice, my game, my play. I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replace them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me.
I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replace them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me. Tired of waiting for a no-show crew, so I built the dream with my own view. Brick by brick, I carved my lane. Through the storm, through the pain.
I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replace them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me.
I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replace them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me. They vanished like shadows when the sun appeared. Left me to battle my own darkest fears. But I turned turned the silence into my cheer. Every loss was a step to get me here.
I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replaced them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me.
I'm betting on me, I'm taking the lead. No one else can match my speed. I replaced them all, now I'm the key. The world's in my hands, I'm betting on me.
Oh, 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 oh.